Hello, happy May, everyone. So we have just almost completed the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse passed a few days ago, but the portal is once again open longer than just that 24-hour period. It does feel as though whatever needed to be changed has been set into motion, and there is a sense of maybe switching of paths. Perhaps you see yourself actually walking out of old shoes, stepping into new shoes. We have grown, is what has happened. We have grown, and we have outgrown who we used to be, and are becoming more evolved, wise, and mature beings. Hopefully. I guess the other side of that is some people are just going to continue to repeat the same old mistakes. So, but that's okay, because eventually we will all come to our awakening in our own right time. So moving forward after this eclipse, and let's go ahead and assume that we have outgrown our old selves and grown up to a more wise and mature version, a true expression of our higher self is what we're going for. And also, living in the seat of your higher self, there's also the integration of your lower self, which is awesome, because sometimes the lower self, that's more the ego, and it has such a personality. I mean, to be honest with you, it's a great thing to have. It's a great thing to have a personality. So integrating the ego, transmuting the negative things. Oh, we had a nice card fall out. We'll talk about that. Transmuting and basically seeing what our hang-ups have been, to keep us basically living in an old cycle. Some people may have moved, some people may have changed relationships, or perhaps you feel like you're growing and your relationships are growing, and because you and another person are doing your inner work, you're growing together. If one person has done the inner work and the other person has not, it makes for a rocky time. So best case scenario is that we are all growing together. The card that fell out is the Chariot. There's a lot to say about this card. The higher self and the lower self, the ego, and they're in balance, and they are growing at the same time. They're both moving forward with courage and charisma, and they're in balance. You don't see one horse pulling harder or faster than the other. It's a parallel between who you are striving to be, which is your higher self, and then integrating that lower self, the part of you that, like I said, it's a personality, and personality kind of gives flavor to life. That's where a lot of your sense of humor comes in. That's where we learn possibly, just maybe how to deal with others. Okay, that's the ego is coming in parallel with the higher self, and we're moving forward. Amazing. And then there you go. I would say that this being up here really is sort of the higher self, and this is your light aspect, and this is your dark aspect. And the higher self is controlling both of these, instead of where we might have been like having the ego pull more to one side, causing an imbalance. But even whenever the pendulum swings too hard the other way, and you know, you can become very superstitious. You can become very detached from your personality if you swing too hard, you know, into more of the spiritual realm, which is not a bad thing, but we live in duality. So let's balance those two versions of ourselves, okay? Next card out, please. And this is for May, okay? These are for the energies of May. This is balancing out the light side of us and the dark side of us without having to abandon. Like, we don't want to abandon any horse here. The King of Wands. The King of Wands is very confident. It's very passionate. It's a non-commitment type energy, but it doesn't mean that it's like wishy-washy. No, this isn't a wishy-washy energy. This is just more looking at things from an objective standpoint, looking at things from a very positive, passionate, creative standpoint. So our life is in a very creative stage right now. So sometimes when you're in creation, you know, you haven't finished your picture yet. You haven't finished what you're envisioning. So that's where the don't commit quite yet to your new vision, because you're still creating it, okay? Create it with passion. We are in the sign of Taurus as well, and Taurus rules the body and the senses. So this could be just a very physically indulgent month. Take time to rest. Take time just to enjoy being here and part of this earth plane. Go outside, connect to nature, feel the earth beneath you. Maybe take a trip to go see something that excites your eyes, and you know, something that you haven't basically, it's just almost like this stimulation of the five senses is what is needed right now. Even taste, you know, maybe you need to branch out and try something new just in the food department, you know. So this is a very artistic, passionate, even sensuous time. Let's see, what else is coming through for May? For the collective. Okay. So with all of this passion and energy, there is the potential for a butting of heads. This is the Two of Wands, but I see this as almost like a collision. It is possible. Okay, so making sure that we balance out the energies. Okay. Very passionate energy, it's very strong. It's a king card, which the kings are very powerful in the deck. So it comes with a lot of energy there. But whenever there's a buildup, too much energy comes in without the proper, let's say, direction of the energy, then that's whenever you could have this collision, the butting of heads, which Taurus is the bull, okay? So be careful not to be bullheaded, okay? These are rams on here. You know, just really avoid locking horns with anybody, although there is going to be the potential of that. However, you have the ability to steer it, especially with the knowledge and everything that has come through for us, the revelations through the solar eclipse portal. You know, just try to not make the same mistake, because in order to see if we've learned the lesson, a lot of times we're tested. So awareness is key. But if you channel the energy in the right way, you should be fine, okay? Another card, we'll just pick 5. Another card out for May. All right. The 6 of Wands. But I intuit them not just by like a definition of the card, but I do take this card quite literally as crossing very deep waters. Okay, you're going to have to cross some deep waters with someone or people. I think there's going to be a crossing of deep waters on a lot of fronts. There's an acceptance that there's no going back. Like, after the portal from this eclipse closes, I mean, there's no going back at all. It's either you are staying the same and things around you are going to change, or you're going to change and, you know, and everything else is going to adjust. But there's no going back to how things were. And as far as this card is concerned, there is an apprehension, just because it's maybe unknown territory, or perhaps you've been burned in the past, so you're a little bit nervous to cross that that ocean again. But I don't really see that there's going to be any other choice. This guy here is looking back. The younger one is looking back, but the wiser one is looking forward, ahead, knowing that it is unknown. It is a bit scary. You're going to have your faith. You're going to have your wits. You're going to have your maturity. Okay? This change that's coming to cross these deep waters, okay, it's not for the faint of heart at all. This is deep inner emotional work. It's healing that is coming up. We're dealing with water here. That's the emotions. We're dealing with the inner child too. That's the ego that I'm saying we need to integrate. And this small little inner child is going to be like, I don't know. Well, I wouldn't say this is the inner child. This is more of the ego that still feels small and scared. But if you see here, if we can balance it, these can be two mighty forces together. And this man right here is really going to need the ego to step up and grow up, because if it's just you two crossing these deep waters, he's going to need a partner to help. Okay? This part of you that needs to grow because it's coming with this higher version of yourself. And it needs to blossom and grow and be just as mighty and brave as the higher self that you truly are. it needs it to be and wants it to be, and is patiently waiting for it to be. So this guy here is just saying, okay, there's only one way, and it's not the easy way. To stay the same would be the easy way. Okay, last card out for the collective. There's no easy ways out. There's no easy way out. And I feel this card right here too. There is not, this isn't easy energy. This is very strong, passionate, spontaneous energy. And whatever is left to be dealt with, if it hasn't been dealt with, I do feel like there's a chance that this is going to come up in a big collision, okay? Some people might have had their falling out during the portal to cause the change, but it may not be that way for everyone, so just be cautious of the energy. Be mindful of your energy, okay? But really, you may have to say what you need to say. Okay, let's go to the next one. Last card out, please. For the collective. All right. So we have the King of Wheels. Okay. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. The King of Wheels. The King of Wheels is very abundant, and I see once you cross these deep waters, you have to cross the deep waters in order to receive your reward, okay? Crossing the waters is the only way you're going to receive that reward that you want, that abundance you want, the peace that you want, the fulfillment that you want. It doesn't have to be monetary, although it could be monetary. We don't need to even limit. It could be everything. You might feel fulfilled. You might receive the financial abundance that you're looking for. You might receive basically the life that you've wanted. It just depends on where you are on your journey and what you're ready to receive. But the main thing that you have to do is you have to create that change in yourself in order to take yourself into almost like this paradise that you're seeking. So it's almost like the phoenix, and it burns up, but through the ashes, the phoenix rises, okay? And that's what I see when this card comes out. This card it's just part of the maturing process, I would say. I want to just also pull out what the meaning from this book is portraying to us, because I feel like there's a word in here. Let me see where this is. That is needing to be said. Realism, okay? The king represents an experienced and successful entrepreneur, a specialist with a great life experience. Strong leadership qualities, ability to control and manage the process, a talent of managing money, multiplying income, a rational guide and realistic view of things. Okay. Competence, authority, and governance. So you're capable. You are the authority of your life, and you want a good life. We want a good life. Everybody wants a good life, really, ultimately. So it's just making sure that you set the appropriate authority around your life, the appropriate boundaries around your life, so that you can continue forward and can continue to grow in all ways. Yeah, I think that it's going to be a really nice May. There's going to be a lot of changes. If you are tested, just pass your test, because you know that it's going to come. Be passionate about what you're doing. Be passionate about not going backwards. Be passionate about just creating a life that is worth living, okay? And you're definitely capable. Definitely capable, and I hope that everything turns out wonderful for everyone. The cards are really favorable. The only one here is this, but we are in Taurus season, so you know it is the bull. So maybe don't be stubborn or bullheaded. And you know, if somebody else is being this way, possibly just be the one that recognizes it and just calmly brings it to someone's attention, you know, that this is no longer the way that you want to live your life. You want a successful life, successful relationships. So we got to figure out a different way to work out our conflicts. Okay, well, happy May, and I will see you whenever I see you. Thank you so much. Bye.